Okay, welcome back. I'm gonna try something on the channel, do a little painting, like tutorial, I guess. Just want to say up front, not a pro painter. Um, you can watch my videos and see what my skill level is, but I just wanted to do this as sort of an extra in my Alpha Legion project series to how I did the armor because I think trying to get like a metallic blue armor can be really hard. I know it was like kind of hard for me to figure it out, but in this case, the paint's mostly doing the work. So uh, got already got a model started the other day. So I did the. Sorry if the lighting isn't that good. I should probably fix that at some point. But so what I do with the Alpha Legion. So I'll just show the colors I'm using. So we've got Thousand Suns Blue. I've talked about that on an earlier video. And then we've got, got to look for, kind of hunt around. A few different things. Vallejo Leather Brown, color I've used quite a lot. What else? Let me find the other. So many colors on this project. Not really, but so many colors on my desk, I should say. White, I don't think that's going to come up on the Raptors, but at any rate, just in case, probably one of the most important colors, this Turbo Door Curacao. And I mean, I think really you could use any kind of metallic blue like this. Because really, to get it the way I've been doing it, it's really more about um, the metallic in conjunction with a wash and darker base coats to get it to look like kind of a weathered blue, but the metallic still is coming through. So it looks like this. So you can still kind of see the shiny metallics, but it's clearly been weathered, like they've been fighting, maybe even fighting on Vrax. Uh, Let me get out, rearranged my paint desk, so this is kind of annoying. There we go. Okay, so get a lot of mileage out of this. This is the Vallejo Bronze, really useful for a lot of different painting jobs. Dark vermilion for the eyes, and and there's just a few additional colors that aren't really used on these raptors or won't be, but for the regular Marines, the Wraith Bone and the Bleached Bone for doing the like the tabard loincloth things. Um, and we've got also really important in this process, Nuln Oil. And then I've been doing the trim in this Army Painter plate metal, which I've had seemed to be getting good results with, so I recommend this. Um, a lot of the Army Painter paints I have can be hit or miss. They kind of tend to dry really quickly, even with a wet palette like I have. So just something to keep in mind. And then if you don't have or don't want to use the Army Painter, the Vallejo Silver might also work as well, but the Army Painter just is a little darker, so it's more like a steel instead of a silver. Um, so, okay, so like I said, already got the base coats put down, so since we're not starting from scratch, I primed everything in black, and then get these out of the way actually. Primed everything in black, and then started with the Thousand Suns Blue, just painted up most of the armor surfaces, and then did the plate mail metal on all the trim, And then for these guys, I also did some of the Vallejo gunmetal gray inside, like the pack, the exhaust fan things in the pack. Oh, and I forgot one last couple colors. Again, depends if you're doing the regular Chaos Marines, but I've been using these two for like green little like accents on the armor or accessories, just to throw in the other Alpha Legion color of green. So I'm gonna start putting on the clean my brush. I'm gonna start putting the Curacao on now, and this stuff also kind of dries fairly quickly in your palette, even if you just leave it on a wet palette, like for a few, not even that long, like a hour. You get up and take a break for something, and come back to painting. Yeah, I've noticed that they kind of dry quickly, and I know some people say, well, don't put metallics on your normal palette. I've never really had an issue with that. I don't really have the problem of the stuff cross contaminating, or not in a really noticeable way. So I'm gonna paint these on. One thing I've noticed about painting these Chaos Marines is it's kind of hard to. You have to be careful, have a steady hand filling in these detailed kind of spots, and we got to be more careful because I'm not just doing the base coats. Yeah, so I hope that's not fading out of focus. Okay, so just going over these details and trying to coat over the Thousand Suns blue base, while also trying to avoid the trim that's there. I mean, I suppose you could prime and then use like a airbrush. I'm not sure why that was escaping me, to paint these guys, and then go over it again with the trim color. Yeah, that's an option too. So let's get these armor panels. And almost forgot my trusty Citadel grip. Actually, this thing is useful. Eventually, I'd like to, if anyone's still watching this 8 minutes in, eventually I'd like to do painting live streams, but I don't have enough of subscribers to do the mobile live streaming. So I'm gonna have to wait on that for the foreseeable future. I need to get some more of the metallic in my palette, and just a little bit. Trying not to use like too much of this metallic. It's a little, a little bit goes a long way kind of deal. Get that down a little bit and keep going. Yep, so just filling in these spots and going really slow. making sure I don't hit any, trying not to lose any of these trim details. Again, this is like the most challenging part of the process. So I think, if you're looking for this is good for me because this is like a nice painting challenge. That's a little different from some of the historical stuff I've also been doing. Because Space Marines, let's face it, are pretty easy to paint, but these guys have a little more detail and a little more, it's a little more challenging. And I don't even think regular Chaos Marines are the most difficult to paint. Death Guard look a little challenging with all that crazy Nurgle decay stuff. Gotta keep checking the camera to make sure it's not like losing focus. So gonna keep filling that in. And get more paint on the brush. I think I'm probably going to do a little deep dive again, reading up on the Alpha Legion and the novels and stuff. I had the Legion Horus Heresy novel. I read that, I think, in high school probably. I kind of hated it at the time, funny enough. I just couldn't stand the twin Primarch idea, which I think was actually created during that, like, during the more recent Horus Heresy stuff. Because as far as I know, like, traditionally, it was just Alpharius. Not like Alpharius and Omegon. But whatever. I mean, it's just lore at the end of the day. But they are kind of mysterious and cool. And then there's another book I was looking at on Amazon to get because forget what it's called. It's about some Alpha Legionnaires going to get this guy that's got like psyker powers, and I can picture the cover. It's on my Amazon list at the moment, but I cannot for the life of me remember the title. And they're also in, which I mentioned on the hobby update, the Siege of Vrax Imperial Armor book that I got probably 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. They fight against the Dark Angels and I think the Death Korps Krieg in that. Yeah, really love that book. I mean, I can't really praise it enough. It's got a great chaos, like renegade militia list, and some great art for that, which I normally wasn't super into chaos at the time, but that book kind of made me see like, wow, this is really neat. And you also see like in the Warhammer lore, how you can have people that are sort of opposed to the Imperium, that they start out with good intentions, but then they kind of slip into chaos. Okay, I think this keeps going out of focus, so I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can adjust my settings. Okay, going over the helmet now. These guys' helmets are crazy because it's like half trim. So, in the last hobby update on these guys I mentioned, I wanted to do some cultists, which are not that expensive as GW kits go. It'll be a little more technical of a technical paint job, even this, but that's okay. I mean, I'm used to doing infantry for historicals at this point, so it's not a huge deal. Okay, so let me see if I can get this to focus. So, getting the metallic on the armor, and so you can see, you might be able to see at this point how, forgot to do his elbow pad, but at any rate, you might be able to see, so it's really bright, like a bright metallic blue, teal, which you look at, if you look at the Alpha Legion Horus Heresy paint jobs, that's more of what you want to go for, but with this, I'm looking to do something kind of dusty and weathered, which is really simple. You just slap on a lot of Nuln Oil, and that'll take care of it. But I mean, if you wanted to do just like really bright Alpha Legion, I mean, you could probably just leave it like this, and maybe just do some. See if it'll focus. Yeah, just do some highlights or something like that, or do like a lighter wash. Yeah. So, all right, now we're gonna get started on the jump pack, which that's a little more. Let's get a bigger brush here because it's not as technical a job. So get a bigger brush out. Get some metallic paint, get some Curacao on there. Yeah, so in the future I'd prefer to do these as like a live stream where I could, maybe field some questions or something. Okay, just getting that on there. Paint on there, and not a hard paint job, but I mean, I'm not like a pro painter, like I always say. This is just, the best I can hope for with this is just to give people an idea of what to do. I mean, the other thing too is, especially with like troops, I think historicals have made me not like agonize so much over each individual model, especially because from doing black powder era type stuff, you have to end up painting so many just like line infantrymen, and there's sort of a different effect with that. You don't really need every single figure to be totally perfect, like I think people in the 40k GW side of things tend to like to do or shoot for, which is good. I mean, I mean, I've had videos on the channel where I talk about how, hobbies need to have standards, and I support that, but I just mean, when you're trying to do like an army project, you don't necessarily, for like black powder, pike and shot stuff, you don't necessarily need to have everything 100%, beautiful, fully highlighted and detailed type of thing. Just because, you're talking about communally based figures, and it's not, not as big a deal. Okay, so we've gotten all the major colors, until I see I probably missed a spot. And then depending on the chainsword, I think this one I'll just leave like a silver with the brass stuff. But some of them, I like to fill in the black on like the body part. But since this one looks kind of more like a big knife, I think I'll just leave it silver. Sometimes I'd paint up the little power unit thing in black. Actually, I might do that just to break that silver up a little bit. And I like to do the bolt guns. I like having a little bit of the black, the black sort of receiver sections, panels, whatever they're supposed to be, in doing that. Especially because, like with the way I think of Alpha Legion, a little more sophisticated than like Renegade, Astartes chapters, or like even Black Legion or something. I mean, to me, I think they're sort of like the Night Lords, where part of chaos, but not like totally given over to it. We're sort of ambivalent about it. So, all right, we'll do that. Add a little bit of that. Yeah, just to break that up a little bit. Handle will keep that black, and the soft armor, I'll just keep that as it is. Oh, well, we did miss a spot doing some of the trim on the backpack there, so get out the silver. Oops. When I was thinking about doing a Chaos Army, I was also thinking about doing Night Lords. That was my other thought, as another sort of Spec Ops sneaky type chapter, but the Night Lords options, it's not as easy as doing Alpha Legion, where you can paint them up like this. A lot of the unit upgrades for Alpha Legion, or Night Lords, excuse me, are kind of dated at this point in the current GW Chaos lineup. Can you guys even see this? Okay, gonna do paint over that trim. And yeah, okay, that's good enough. I think try and fill some of those little streaks in. And then the little like armor collar, you might not even be able to see it, but it's not. I missed that part, so I'll go ahead and just do some. Let's see. This will be real quick. Just fill this in with some Thousand Suns blue. And do that. Okay. It's kind of hard to get into the crevice between the backpack and the armor. Okay, I think we'll keep it like that for now, and do. All right, and now, really important step, doing the wash. Use quite a bit of this. I also have this Army Painter dark tone. I haven't used these because I've just had trouble using them. Shake lightly. They're really tough on my brushes, and they seem like a hardware shellac, like really watered down, but still like a hardware shellac. So I'm kind of hesitant to use those. Anyway, let's get the wash on this guy, and all right, so start filling in and picking up the ink or whatever this is chemically, and moving it around. And this will also help the trim look less like shiny silver and more like an iron steel kind of color. And like I said, it'll also help make the blue still metallic, but not as like shiny, like a shiny, blue teal. So I'll keep doing that. Sure, don't get too much on the brush. Like I said, I mean, my main goal with this video is just that I hope somebody finds it helpful. And, if you're trying to do not even Alpha Legion, but, something like this, like I think Heresy or a Thousand Suns have like a cool metallic red paint job. I think that would be, I think this technique and using this Turbo Dork paint, which does most of the work, would be helpful. Filling in that helmet. Oh, got a little too much. I'll try and spread that out a bit. And make sure, again, trying to make sure it's not, gets in there but fills out the details but doesn't like make it too dark, so it obscures the metal blue completely. Okay, and then do the pack, kind of get the jump pack. I hope this is a better format for me to especially like to talk about things while I paint, rather than just like some of my like commentary videos where I'm just like talking at the computer screen with the screen capture stuff. If you happen to like this, let me know and I'll do more of it. I think I might start doing more of it, just because it gives me something to do while I'm talking instead of just talking. And I can kind of comment on the painting as I go along. Get inside the pack, and I'll cover this little connecting section. Maybe we went a little overboard on this guy with the dark.